everyone, how are you doing? I wasn't planning to film today anything. As a matter of fact, it is 3:30, but the weather and the lighting situation is permitting me to still squeeze in a quick vlog. So I thought I will just fill you in what I kind of did today, so you can view it as a day of an artist type of a vlog. I mean, it's not typical day for me. Most days I'm doing a lot of work at my desk, but today was a little bit out and about, and I tried to film the process of things, but you know, sometimes it is impossible to film every step by step and give you the exact kind of feel of how my day goes because of the lighting situation, because of, you know, camera setup. And sometimes, like you'll see, I'll insert a little clip later. When I got the coffee, I filmed it on my phone because obviously I'm not going to bring a tripod to the camera and set it up in the street to just film a few seconds of getting a coffee. So for this week, I mean, we are now in Thursday. It's been a really productive week. Most of my half pens have now dried. They had 3 fills, and I am now going to be sorting out. I sorted out the sticker for the sets, for the little metal tins, and everything is good to go apart from the little names of the watercolor stickers. So that's a big job because I need to print them tiny, and these names are quite long compared to my usual handmade watercolor names. So I'm not sure how I'm going to fit it all in. I have to figure it out, and my printer needs an urgent in-depth cleanse because it's like really bad the way it's printing. It's not printing very well, so it's something that I have been putting off because it's like a major job in my view. You have to insert a special thing in there, which I have everything ready to go. It's just I need to find the time. Also keeping in mind in between the orders, because I need to have my printer functioning if there is an order, because I have 3 to 5 days dispatch happening. So that's my plan for the rest of the week. The another thing that I still need to do is I'm going to be working on my commission, which is one of my longtime viewers has really liked this illustration right here, but I can't rip the page out of a sketchbook. However, I'm going to create a separate illustration based on that. So that's what I will be working on, and I'm going to use my Canson Moulin de Roy paper, which is a smooth 300 GSM paper, and I didn't like it for watercolors, but I figured out it would be great for pencils because we want something very flat and smooth to work on with colored pencils. And the other option I would have used, which I don't have, is this type of a paper by Jackson's. They have a smooth paper. I only have a tiny block of this paper, and it would have worked really beautifully as well. It's also a 300 GSM paper. So I've done some swatches here, but basically it would have been great for this project. Also, by the way, if you ever see an illustration that you really like, always feel free to just, you know, message me for some commission, or ask me if I would be willing to do a piece on that or something similar, because I enjoy doing that. If I know that someone really loved something from my sketchbook and it's not a page that's like a separate piece of paper that I could sell, I wouldn't rip out pages out of sketchbook. Then I would be happy to recreate or do something in a similar style. So do let me know about that if you ever feel like you enjoyed something from my sketchbook. I might still do it actually tonight. I might start with the printer, cleansing the printer. Fingers crossed nothing goes wrong. Oh god, this sort of like technical stuff I really don't enjoy, but who else is going to do it for you? I mean, yeah, I'm not in a position where I can ask someone. I mean, I could ask my husband, but then I have a feeling that all the inks will just explode all over the room, and it will be a lot more work for me to do if I ask for help. So I think I'm just going to rely on myself there. Coffee. So I have, oh, the other thing before I get to coffee, yesterday I also realized, business related, that I ran out of shipping labels. And interestingly enough, I don't know if you find this interesting, but I'll pull one up to show you. Shipping labels, very, very important. So this is what I always would use, and I bought a big box of it, 1,000 labels, and they were perfect because it used to be that on Etsy you would get so you'd get the shipping label on one page and then a separate page for the declaration. So I think what I was doing is, yeah, I was printing 2 separate sheets, and both of them would go on this side, so the way it was arranged, the format of it. And so that's it. So you just pull it off the paper and you got your sticker here. Then Etsy decided to change the format, and everything is now on one page. There is no way for me to print it in that way. And so also the problem is with the declaration or the customs form, it is not in the middle of the paper, but it's kind of here. So I can't find stickers that would suit that format, because you can get a sticker or label page which is divided in the middle, but that means that the customs label would be kind of like cut in half, which obviously doesn't work. So what I would do is I just would print it as it is, use this as a label, and this I would have to cut out manually, use a glue stick, yes, a glue stick, and then pop it onto the envelope, which would take me so much time. If I have 20-40 orders to sort out, I mean, imagine that. So it was a bit of a headache. So I'm happy to say that I have run out of these stickers, and the only thing I could think of doing right now is basically ordering a full sheet of label. And what I will need to do is still cut it out, but I'm hoping it will be faster because I won't need to use the stick glue anymore. I'll just cut it out and just pop it onto the envelopes. And also I made sure I went for the round corners, because it means I can peel it off at least without sort of fiddling around and trying to find where the paper starts and ends. I don't know. I think I have ordered 500 this time, just to see how I like it. Next time I might order a small number of the square corners and see if that's any better or worse. But I figured I'll give it a go. Also, I almost ran out of bubble mailers, and I put an order through for that. Also currently working on the floral stamp sets, so that will be a while. But things are going smoothly so far regarding the half-pound sets, so they should be available as promised first week of March. I think I will pop them on the shop by the end of next week. So I will update you on that. Okay, today I had a meeting. I had to meet my art curator, who is organizing the exhibition that I talked about. There's going to be an exhibition on the 15th of March. And before that, we will also have, a week before that, we will have a private viewing with the mayor coming and 10 local businesses. So it's going to be really interesting to meet people and mingle and yeah, just chat about art. I mean, it's something I was like dreaming about and thinking, how do I approach? Where do I even start? So that's something really interesting. And I have never done this within the art industry. I'm very familiar with the mingling and the social events when it comes to fashion and beauty industry, because that's where I used to work before I had Mason. That was what I was doing. And I loved it. I loved meeting all the directors, all the founders of these big companies, skincare, perfume, you know, you name it. So it was really, really a lot of fun. And of course, it was London. It was all in really trendy, cool settings. They went through a lot of effort setting up these social events. So it won't be as, as how shall I say? stylish probably as what I used to have in London back then. But to be honest with you, life changed, you know. I'm a mother now, so I have lower expectations. So yeah, so today I'm at the art curator because I popped over some of my products, my watercolors and a couple of my stamp sets. So I just brought some and put a note that there is more on Etsy, and I will be restocking the Swatch Joy and the Color Theory stamp sets as well. So the new floral stamp set will come together with the restock. And that may take a while, so it could be end of March or depending what and how fast they can manufacture. My manufacturer can make those. So I don't have exact dates yet. So popping there, I basically set up a few things. So that was fun. And then afterwards, I have popped into Koster, which is right next to it, and got me a coffee. This is probably why I'm so hyper. I don't know. But yeah, coffee is done. After coffee, this is off subject, but in your country where you're watching from now, are you experiencing a shortage of tomatoes or anything else? Let me know down below, because we had a shortage of tomatoes, and I think pretty much still, well, I haven't been to do groceries for about a week, but there was no tomatoes anywhere. Waitrose, Marks and Spencer's, Food Hall, Co-op, where else? Even the Turkish shop didn't have, well, they had a few, but they didn't look great. They were sort of quite green at the end. Whereas Turkish shop would always have the best tomatoes. I love tomatoes. And yeah, so I popped today into the Turkish shop, which is also near there, and they had tomatoes, red and big and soft and plump and ripe. And I'm wondering, are they like pumped with pesticides? I hope not. I hope I'm not growing moustache by the time the private viewing is starting, which is next week. So let's hope those tomatoes are ripened naturally from the sun. But yeah, so that was that. And then after that, I also did a little pop into the crystal shop. So I was looking for an acrylic stand for the crystals. So this one here is super pretty. It's a gorgeous one. However, I have no way of displaying it this way. And when the sun hits it, it's like little beautiful, well, they are crystals. They're not like crystals. They're crystals. They just start shimmering and look so pretty and alive. So I'd like to display it this way up. And at the minute, it's just sort of laying flat. And I have a few of those crystal clusters that I would like to display. So they didn't have any, but I know John Lewis, I've seen it last time. They had really lovely, really good quality stands for mainly for plates, but you can use them just the same for your crystal cluster. So as I was there, of course I couldn't leave empty-handed, and I got one of these. The name literally just left me. I can't think of it, but as I'm editing, I'm sure I'll remember it. I've got quite a few of these, but I don't have it in that thumb shape, and it's tiny. So it really, you are free to laugh if you want, but I had a situation before where I was like unable to make a decision. Like I really thought, I just don't know. I tried this, I tried that. It's just not working. What to do? And I have been reading many times that this particular crystal helps you with decision making. So one evening I just sort of meditated with it, went to bed, and then in the morning I woke up and I'm like, yes, this is what I need to do. And it worked. So up to you to believe whether that was just coincidental or some sort of crystal magic. But yeah, so since I am a great believer in this little gem, and I wanted something tiny where I just can pop it into my pocket. I've got a few of those. Let me show you. Why not? We have the time. As I was walking to my bedroom, it hit me. It's carnelian. So I did a little bit of reading just now. So I've got this book. By the way, let me know if I had a chance to review a couple of these crystal books and if you would be interested, because even if you're not into crystal energy, there are some fantastic photography that you can use for art, color palettes, textures, all sorts of things. So beautifully illustrated books, and I have a number of them. So this particular one is great for if you, like just now, you know your crystal, or maybe you don't, maybe you went to a shop and you saw something. So this one is divided into colors and you can quickly find it in the colors. So I knew it's orange and I found it. Okay, so I just read something I didn't know. Apparently the deep dark red carnelians, which is these, they are likely to be heat treated, and when you look at or through the light through them, you can see the banding there, and I hope you can see that as well. So that usually suggests that they are heat treated. However, the cloudy ones and the less bright, they are natural. So this one here, that's a natural carnelian, and I think that's the one that I attempted to paint. I've got a little illustration tutorial of this one. So yeah, I love them, and as you can see, this one is also a thumb carnelian, but what is different about this one is it's flat on one side and it's got just the caved in area here, and then this one is rounded on both sides, and personally I find this one a lot more tactile. That's an individual thing. Okay, and then also I got this gorgeous little baby here, which is the moss agate, and I loved it. I am looking for one that has more green in there, because that's why they're called moss agate. It looks like there's little bits of moss trapped in there. It's not actually moss, it's is it copper? It's some sort of mineral that is in there, but it just looks like it. And then this one has blossom or bloom, because it looks like flowers, moss agate, but let me try and find if I can find it in this book. So I can't find the exact one that I have that has these sort of snowflakes or flowers in there, but the one that I mean with loads and loads of green is this one here. But there's loads of different agates, but I find the moss agate the most interesting. I have one which has actually a lot of green, and it just looks just dark green, and I had to get a loupe and look into it to realize that that was moss agate. I didn't realize it when I actually bought it on Amazon, which I wouldn't recommend buying crystals on Amazon. But I bought it as like a little mix type of set, and yeah, it was interesting. So that is it about that. And what else? Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk about, because this vlog is quite sort of, business orientated, or I'm just sharing how I do things, or what needs to be done in a business. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but one more thing I wanted to share, and this happened before before Christmas. Yes, before Christmas. So it was maybe first week of December. So we have this fancy schmancy web design agency, which is basically in the same place as all the other bits that I just mentioned to you, all the other shops. And so it's quite convenient to just park up and just, pop into one place and then another within like walking distance. So yeah, I decided to go there because I have a domain which I'm paying for monthly, and I've been paying now for, since pandemic, I think, for my website, but I'm not setting it up. I haven't set it up, and it's one of those things that I am just kind of putting off, like the printer. But it would be so useful, because when I meet people, and these days when I have become a selling artist, and when I have had a few years of running my business and building it up, at this point I really do need a solid website that would represent everything that I do in one place. Because when I meet people now, and I will meet them now at the opening of the exhibition, every time when I need to explain or describe what I do, it's quite difficult, because I'm not just abstract artist, or I am not just a clear stem designer, or I'm not just a handmade watercolor creator or maker. So to do kind of a description of what you do verbally, it sort of is quite a big load to share with people sometimes, especially if they're not from that field. So if you start saying, I do this, and I do that, and I do this, and they sort of like stand there a bit baffled, thinking, oh, right, okay, well, that's a lot. So basically a website that represents my style, that is contemporary, that is neat and clean. I thought I will go and approach this agency, and I thought, okay, maybe £1,500, maximum up to £2,000, but I think £1,500 is very generous in Great British pounds to invest into making a website. So I go there, and inside they have all these super trendy, fashionable furniture, and everything looks super expensive and really trendy. So I thought, well, it kind of looks like my type of a place. I think they will get my vibe, they will get my style. And as we sat down talking about it, actually I need to change the battery quickly. So yeah, as we sat down and we were kind of talking about it, they asked me what I'm expecting, and I explained what I'm doing, and that I would need different sections of the website. And I also was thinking to put an online shop on my website, because Etsy, has brought their prices up, and all of us small businesses do suffer from it. And rather than raising prices for you, like for my customers, I would rather not do that and be able to sell it for cheaper. But of course, when you put everything together, the packaging, the materials, everything that costs me to generate a product, and then on top the fees for Etsy and everything else that comes with it, you need to think of, how much money you actually are making and supporting yourself with. So I kind of thought maybe try to go away from Etsy, maybe next year or even this year, and start setting up my own shop. So after talking about all of that, giving all the information, of course comes the question of how much roughly it would cost me, because I need to understand, And so then they bounce the question back, and they ask me, so, but what's your budget? You don't want to go into this sort of conversation, because what's their business what my budget is? I could have a general budget to run my business. It doesn't mean that I'm going to pay 100% to them, right? So you have to switch your business mind on and kind of think, well, no, you tell me first and then I'll see. So I then said to them, well, I do have a certain budget in mind, but it doesn't really matter. So you tell me what it is. So beating around the bush for about 5 minutes, literally, I couldn't get them to tell me rough estimation of that, and supposedly they do this all the time, so they would know how much it would be. The lady then had the other two designers, whoever they are, web designers, involved in the conversation, and so one of them was pretty to the point, and she's sort of saying, after all of that, she's sort of saying, well, 10K. And I'm like, excuse me? did I just hear 10K? Is this happening for real? For what I just said, I'm not like, you know, I don't know, who shall I compare myself to? Like, not myself, but I mean, I'm not a big business like, let's say, even Derwent. You know, I'm not that type of company. And if I was, would I be going to them? I probably would employ like other people. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I was like blown away that who on earth, and it's a small town near all these villages in the countryside, who on earth would walk in there with 10K burning in their pocket thinking, I need to set up a very cool website. So that was very, very bizarre to me. And so when I almost fell from my chair and I managed to recover, I have said, well, I had in mind more like 1.5K. And the woman was just, oh no, oh my God, no, sorry, no. And at that point I was like, whoa, so hold on a second, you don't offer service for smaller businesses? Surely you should have a sector where you can provide service for like small businesses. I mean, how many small businesses there are versus big businesses that will walk in and have a smaller budget. And I'm sorry, but 1.5K in this climate, in this financial, you know, situation we're all are living in, that's a lot of money. And you're basically turning me away because that's for you like pennies? Is this happening for real? So I was like, oh my God, did I just experience this? I remember coming home and just like telling my husband, I was in complete and utter shock. I mean, this is daylight. This is daylight, me going to an agency that I thought looked quite decent, you know, but wow. I mean, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to cut some time out, hopefully this month. So we're now in March. It's 2nd of March today. Yes, it's 2nd of March. Happy spring. I'm super excited about spring. Is the air starts smelling different and just everything. The tulips have popped out in my garden. I'm not a big fan of daffodils. So tulips, yeah. Tulips all the way. Have you ever been to Keukenhof? Oh my God. Beautiful, beautiful. So what I will have to do is try and design it myself. I know it's not going to look super duper professional, but I think I'm going to do a half decent job and just at least set up the website. And then, you know, I can try and somehow add the shop there as well. I don't know if that's going to be a successful job and how complicated it's going to be, but at least I can do just the very, you know, basic website, and that should be good. Also, think about this, coming back to the 10K, which till this day, I still can't believe that was a conversation I was having. But think of it that way. As a small business, investing 10K, if I had that budget and I decided to blow it all onto my website, which would be the stupidest idea ever. Yes, so you need to think of it that way. If you do invest that money, is it going to create profit? So will you pay that money off? How soon will you be paying that money off? And therefore, when is the profit starting after you paid off what you spent? So for example, if you are, I don't know, let's take Le Creuset. So if you are a brand of that size and you are selling a lot of products online, you have an online shop as well as all the other commercial shops, it will be paid off very quickly. So it's not creating a dent into your financial side of the business. However, if you are a small business, how long would it take me to just make that money back and start making a profit? what value would it add to me to have this super duper 10K website where actually it's not the main attraction to my business? Yeah, so just think of it that way. You would do a perfectly fine job designing it yourself. There's loads of platforms now. Like I am on Squarespace. I think they're very cool, and it's helpful. You can do it yourself. I'm telling it to myself as well as you. But yeah, you can do it yourself, and you just need to get some time out. And I'm pretty sure once I've done it, I will be thinking, why didn't I do it sooner? So it's one of those things. And I think that basically just don't pay someone that amount of money if you can do it yourself basically for free. And it doesn't, like, your viewers or your customers, if they love your products, they don't really care about the website as long as it's functioning, as long as they can see things, as long as it sort of describes who you are. Just think about it, what you need the website for. You know, if you're a small business, of course. If you're a big business, like I said, it wouldn't be a big of a difference to blow 10K. So that is it in terms of chit chat. I do not I thought I had some time to do a bit of drawing. No, I'll keep it strictly business chat today, and I will do some illustrating next time. Let me know what you think about these sort of chatty vlogs where I just share certain things. I mean, I have the private viewing with the mayor and then the actual exhibition happening, which is coming up this month. So let me know if you want a bit of content with that. I don't know if I will be able to film anything because there will be loads and loads of people, and it's actually quite a small space, so I don't know how filming would be possible, but I'll try to share at least the experience of my first ever exhibition. So that is it for today. I hope you're having a lovely day. It's been a super sunny, pretty day, quite crisp this morning, 4.5, and then it warmed up to 10.5. So have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you soon.